All right. Well, hey, welcome. I'm excited, right? My name is Ken Harvey. I'm with Touching Heart, and this is our first Compassionate Leadership Spotlight. And I'm excited to have Greg Adgate as our first original, the first person who's going to be that spotlight. And really excited because one of the reasons we're doing this is because there are a lot of leaders out there. And people think sometimes you get in your mind that leadership has to be where you're just tough as a nail, that you're punishing, that you're, doing everything wrong is right. And that's the form of leadership. And there are so many great leaders out there that are doing so many good things in the world. And so I think it's important that Touching Heart is spotlighting some of these leaders. And so, like I said, our first leader is Greg, a compassionate leader. We say that with strength. It takes a lot of strength to become a compassionate leader because you have to make hard decisions sometimes. And sometimes you have to do things that aren't favorable to everybody or to the world, but it's right in your heart. So without me talking so much, I want to welcome Greg to the program. Greg, how you doing?
Fantastic, Ken. Thank you.
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate the invitation. And, as you know, Touching Heart's been something that I've been invested in for around a decade now. And I really love the work that Touching Heart does for young people, but also for those of us who get to help the young people and learn from them about their kind of leadership and how they see and have vision for the world. So it's an honor to be here and talking with you.
That's awesome. And isn't it amazing that it is kind of a full circle, right? You mentor younger people, but then younger people have an opportunity to remind us of some of the simple values in life and some of the simple things that say you got to treat everybody with respect. You got to work hard and you got to enjoy what you're doing. And so I want to talk to you about, your company a little bit, about your leadership style. We've had a conversation a little bit earlier about that style. And so just kind of give people a view of if someone looked at you and said, man, that is a compassionate leader, but that's who I want to be. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I think it starts for me with who do I want to be as a person, as a human first, and trying to be consistent as a husband and a father and a boss and a coworker and a neighbor. And so once you land on that, which I have, which is for me, a lot of it is just, faith driven and being a good human to other people, loving other people. Then how do you translate that into the work environment? It's a really good question that you raised. Like sometimes that doesn't seem like it fits with what is expected of you in corporate America, or it might not fit. And I have to admit, I've been in a number of organizations where it didn't fit. And I had decisions to make on, do I want to be who I want to be and be consistent with the human that I want to be? Or do I want to take I'm going to succeed at all costs path, which the cultures of some of the companies I've worked for, that's what the cultures were. And, it was not easy when you are in that environment to stick to your guns and be the human you want to be. But I felt like I slept better and I didn't have anything to explain at home. And I felt, very aligned with the goals of who I want to be as a human there, where, sometimes that doesn't speed your growth up or your success up because you're kind of a countercultural person in that company's culture. But if you find the right place and you find the right company with the right culture, or organization with the right culture, and the people around you who embrace the same kinds of things and value the same kinds of things, then get out of the way. It's amazing. And that's where I am now with Equinix. Equinix is a global data center platform operator that our CEO, Charles Myers, his mantra with everyone is, we need to feel safe, that we belong, and that we matter. And it's a thing he reinforces over and over again as the baseline cultural messages to everyone and how we treat each other. And so you can be your authentic self in this culture. And that's where, for me, I've found my greatest alignment with who I am, and I allow others to be who they are, and it fits in this culture. I'm not sure it fits everywhere, but it's very rewarding to be in a place where it does fit.
I think it's amazing. Something as simple as saying that you can go to sleep at night knowing you're going to have a peaceful night's sleep because you're not doing something that's against your standards. Let me ask you this, and I promise I won't take a long time, but did you ever write out a list? Because I've been reading some books now, and some of them say, write out a list of these are my values, my standards that I believe in, and that I choose to hold fast to. And maybe you go back and review them. And if you have, give me like 2 or 3 of them that you want to hold to.
I think the first is, as a policy, as a leader, listen to understand. We think in leadership you're supposed to have all the answers, many times you don't, and a lot more often than not, the people who are doing the actual work have greater insights than you do. And so first, it's to be humble enough to say, all right, I don't have all the answers. Let's go ask people who are in the front lines and get their feedback, or ask partners. I do a lot of partner work. Ask them what they're seeing and experiencing. Listen to it, absorb it. You may take an ego hit because that may be your team that's not doing what you need them to do, or maybe you're not doing what you need your people to do. But if you can absorb that and take it and be genuine about it, then it prepares you to go back and deliver an authentic experience for people. And that's probably my second main thing is what I value in people, and why I'm drawn to UCAN, is just authentic humans, authentic connections with people who are genuine and aren't playing games. And you can be who you are with them, and they accept you for who you are. The strengths you bring might not be the strengths I bring, but together we're better. And so it's, listen, kind of a servant type leadership style, and then be humble enough to know when you need to move towards them. And I feel like by connecting and being authentic, you're setting a baseline dialogue and understanding between yourself and the teams you work with, whether they're your employees or whether they're cross-functional teammates, and you can have honest conversations about it, and whatever needs to be addressed, it's okay. No one's defensive. And so that type of approach I find is disarming. Then I think the last one is, it's not the last one, but one of a powerful one is focus on information, not the emotion attached to the information. One of my mentors, career mentors, this gentleman named Chaz White, always said, I focus on the data, and I look at the data and I try to understand how to apply it, and then that just diffuses all emotion. It's not your fault for the data or my fault. It's just what it is. And so if we can gather on truth and talk about what that data is, then we can work towards solving for things. And so if you come at it with a humble approach and you're listening and you're just focused on the information, then it diffuses a lot of the interpersonal anxieties or interpersonal things and baggage that people bring to situations, whether it's at work or anywhere really.
Well, look, I had promised I wasn't going to be long. People's attention spans aren't as long, but man, I'm pumped up. This is, what you gave me in the mild manner way that you did it was almost like a pregame speech. It isn't saying, look, these are the things that you need to go out there and be a winner. So, man, I really appreciate you being our first ever, for being an example. There are a lot of people, adults and kids, who, you get a lot of images brought to you from everywhere, from TV, from Instagram, from all sorts of different areas. And so it's refreshing to get a compassionate leader. So thank you very much for being here, and congratulations. You are, if anybody has a trivia question, you can say, I am the original. You're the first one. Thank you very much.
I want to close on one thing. You said okay. TV. So I'm going to quote Ted Lasso. If you haven't seen the show, you should watch it. It's a super uplifting show. And one of his sayings is, be curious, not judgmental.
Mm.
And there's so many different lessons in that show, but being curious and non-judgmental is a great way to go about it.
Dude, I'm learning from you. Thank you very much. Hey, congratulations on being the first. You are the bar setter, and everyone else will be, you know, we'll go from there. So thank you very much. I look forward to you helping us select others along the road. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.